What's good, everybody? This is Jay Floyd. Welcome back to another episode of On Everything. Oh man, this is February 2025. Last year we moved from Cleveland, Ohio down to North Carolina, man. I just gotta say, I'm loving this. I was just walking outside. It's February, y'all. And I was just walking outside and it's nearly 70 degrees. The sun is on me. I got some good exercise in. I worked up a good sweat. I love it. It's exactly why I made this trek down here. So just wanted to update everybody on that moving forward and, being intentional. You do have agency over your life. I know a lot of times we may feel like we don't, but we do. And the agency that we have today is really built on the ability of us to leverage the opportunities we had yesterday. So if you got things, some sort of agency going on and some sort of ability to maneuver and use your strengths to the best of your ability to improve your life and your family's opportunities, then thank God and thank yourself from yesterday. It's really what I want to say today. Working on a couple of things. I always keep a lot of irons in the fire. And right now I'm working on two series. I'm writing some fiction stories, two fiction stories. One is a little bit of an urban fiction. One is a little bit of a science fiction, but it's still, the science fiction is kind of urban and the urban fiction is kind of sciencey. It's like me, it's like me. For one, it's always going to be unpredictable and it's always going to have a little bit of both sides in it. I've been working on those. Both of those will be trilogies, I believe. And I've been submitting the first story of those out to some publishers. Been hearing back from publishers, only hybrid so far, no traditional publishers yet. Still reaching out to them though, and at the same time improving my skills, improving my story, and improving my tenacity to go at it. Been learning a lot about the publishing industry, from what I see so far. It takes $50,000 at bare minimum to have a successful release, right? That's to market your book, get it in the right places, and get some people to buy it. It's going to take like $50,000. The question is, whose $50,000 is it going to be? Do you want to put up all of it? Are you hoping that somebody else puts up all of it? Or do you want to put up a small piece of it, maybe 10, 20%, and get a partner, hybrid publisher to come in where you share control? But that's what I'm starting to see, which is eerily reminiscent of the music industry. Obviously, there's a little bit of differences there, but yeah. So I'm learning, y'all. I'm plugging away. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to figure this thing out and figure out how to get my story to y'all. One of the key components is this podcast. Once I can reach all of y'all, once I can reach enough people in this platform, I feel like this would be a good way to cultivate wow, did y'all hear that? This feels like, it almost sounded like I was hungry, but I'm not hungry, man. I'm not hungry. I promise. I ate lunch. I just want to be able to cultivate my audience. Even if it's 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, as long as it's the people that want to hear the stories that I have, I think that's a win. Let me just give y'all today's episode. I know I've gone through this. I'm at 4-minute mark. I didn't even hit a topic. Today's episode is about something that's been on my mind a lot, specifically right now with the Trump regime and Elon Musk operating the Department of Government Efficiency. And there's so many changes, right? Like, obviously, when you get a new leader in a regime, whether it's a company, organization, or the government, if that leader is a hasty person, if they're impulsive and if they're ambitious and they want to shake things up, you're gonna run into a lot of change fatigue. You also could have to deal with a lot of instances of Chesterton's fence, right? The idea of Chesterton's fence, which is a new person comes along and they feel like, why is this ugly fence here? Get rid of this fence. And then once the fence is torn down, they start to realize and see the reality of exactly why that fence was there. So a lot of times you want to be able to take your time and examine things before you make changes. And it doesn't seem like this regime is doing that. Um, at least it doesn't seem that way. I'm not in those rooms. But I'm a Six Sigma guy, man. We would go into companies or departments, and yeah, we are the hatchet men sometimes. Sometimes we are the hatchet people, and you coming in and you are bringing bad news or bringing change. But at least in Six Sigma, man, you are either defining it for Six Sigma or you're doing what's called a DMAIC process. You define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Define the problem, measure the problem is just to see how much you can even improve it, right? But first define it to see if the problem exists. What is the actual problem and is it worthy? That definition is also for prioritization. Is it worthy of looking at? Then you measure it. How much how much do we want to move the needle to make it worth it? Then you analyze it. What is this process in the end? What's every single step? Then you try to improve it, right? That's when you start digging in the Pareto rule of what's the 20% of changes I can make to get 80% of the impact, right? And then you start to control, right? You put controls in place so that when things are spiraling back out of control, or you put hard controls in place that don't allow them to get back out of control. But yeah, you define, you measure, you analyze, and you improve, and then you control, right? That analyze and improve, right? You analyze from end to end, every single step, map it out. Then you say, what's the one or two pieces that could be changed, right? It looks like a lot of times this regime is like, you know what? I'm pretty confident that there's some excesses going on. There's some waste going on. So let's just gut this whole thing, right? And I mean, sometimes there's reasons for that too. There's merit to that approach. If you have good reason to believe a process is extremely wasteful, there's no need to fully analyze it to improve it. I mean, you can scrap it and start over, or move it to the States and let it be somebody else's problem. I mean, I guess it has merit, but it's tough, and it does brings the people a lot of change fatigue. I'll say this, I'm not overly political as far as sides are concerned. I'm not overly left, right, whatever, all of that. I mean, I like dealing with humans, man. Humans, I found that everybody I meet, I can get to the good in them. So I'm not really overly concerned with the whole sides and political gang banging that goes on. But I will say this: mind your mind. Mind your mind, man. You are, no matter what happens, no matter who's in charge, even if they're doing some making bad decisions, you still have a role to play in your life. Don't get so distracted that you're off your game. Don't get off your square. Don't let bad leadership move you off your square. I don't care if it's bad leadership at your job. I don't care if it's bad leadership at an organization that you have to go to. I don't care if it's bad leadership at your school. If you have a bad teacher that you feel like is not a great teacher, don't let it get you off your square. There are some things out of your control, yes. Should you try to have a voice and do what you can? Yes. But the things that are in your control, you are the leader of them. You are the president of them. You are the leader of your own doge. Okay? Don't get off your square. Don't spend so much time digging into why Elon Musk is wrong, or why Donald Trump is wrong, or why Donald Trump is racist. Don't get so caught up into that you spend more time doing that than you spend mastering your role. You got a role to play. We all have a role to play, and it all works in a divine dance. It's a dance. Works together. It's okay to have some concerns. It's okay to voice those concerns. It's okay to do what you can about those concerns. But you should never let the concerns of others, especially that are outside of your control, overshadow what you got going on in developing your own skill set. Don't spend 45 minutes writing that gigantic Facebook post. Trust me, your audience is not that big. Trust me. Your audience is not that big that you are going to put out this post and you are going to be the one that makes the impact that wakes everybody up to see how they were wrong for voting for this guy. That's not how it's going to work. But you do have a role. And if you lean into that and be better in that, focus on that, you can scale up your impact. Trust me, if you try to boil the ocean, if you try to convince millions upon millions of people that, I told you, you're wrong. Trust me, you are minimizing your scale. That is not the way you are meant to impact the world. And listen, here's the kicker, and I'm going to leave it at this. Understand how strong, powerful, and pervasive confirmation bias is, right? I want you to understand this. I'm going to end with this. If you believe that Donald Trump is absolutely planning everything bad for you, everything bad for people like you, death, destruction of everything you believe in and you think is fair. If you believe that that is his goal and he's going to accomplish it, you're going to try to prove yourself right. Everybody wants to be right. If you are predicting that that's where it's going, you want yourself to be right. So what are you wanting? What is your desire? You want everything bad for people like you? You want no silver lining? If somebody tells you, you know what? Yeah, this doesn't seem like a great idea, but there's a silver lining. Most of the time, we're shutting those people down. We don't want to entertain silver lining. We just want to say, you know what? Don't tell me that. It's all bad. I know it's all bad. I said it would be all bad. I predicted this, and now it has to go bad. I'm almost rooting for it to go bad. That's the position you're painting yourself in if you don't watch your confirmation bias. You will kill the idea of hope. You know the reason why Barack Obama won 2 presidential terms on the campaign slogan of hope? If you walk around saying, I told you so, and millions of voters, you're going to find out that what I said was right. Are you not stepping on that concept of hope? Are you not? It's hopeless. There's no silver lining. It's over, and you predicted it. That's what you're saying. Think about that. It's powerful. Instead, how about this is not the regime I voted for, but this is the regime we have. This is the president I have. And his decisions are impacting us. Where they're really bad, I'm going to see, wow, what is it we can do about this? Where can we fight it? How can we circumvent it? How can we look out for each other? But where it's not really bad, I'm going to dig into that and educate people on the silver linings. Hey, we may not have thought this was good, but look at some things that are good, right? And I'm going to control the controllables, and I'm never going to lose hope. And that's why I know that's not comfortable. That's not popular right now. But that's why Barack Obama wrote the book called The Audacity of Hope. Hope has to be audacious. It has to stand in the face of what everybody else thinks. It has to, or it's not hope. It's not real. I want you to think about that, y'all. I love y'all. I love all of y'all on both sides of every bilateral split, gang banging, red and blue, whatever it is. We just living life, y'all. And one of the things that I read recently, we all just walking each other home. We just walking each other home, man. Love y'all. Peace. Ready to revolutionize your content creation? Discover Deep Brain AI, the cutting-edge solution in AI video synthesis. Create lifelike AI videos with ease, ideal for presentations, educational content, or just boosting your digital marketing. Your AI avatar waits to deliver messages with natural expressions and natural voices. It'll be just like hearing and seeing you and me. Experience the future of communication with Deep Brain AI. Discover more right now at what'sgood.work and click on our link that says visit our sponsor.